is a beautiful day out here in sunny, colorful Colorado, and we have a big day of Ultimate ahead. We kicked off this morning with a clinic, a youth clinic with the Boys and Girls Club, and today we'll have actually a doubleheader with the Colorado Alpenglow as well as with the Colorado Summit. Thank you so much for joining us here today. I'm Emily Brixey, or Brix.
And I'm Emily Harrell, or E.
And whether you are joining us on Mountain TV or the Western Ultimate League channel, we are so glad that you could be here today, and we're excited to be here as well. We actually missed the first game. Feels good to be back in the booth.
It feels so good to be back in the booth. VIP up here watching the game.
Absolutely. And we're really looking forward to this game. It's going to be really exciting. It's an opportunity for the Utah Wild to secure their first victory of the season, while the Colorado Alpenglow is going to be looking to win and punch their ticket to championship weekend. These two teams have actually already faced off this season in the first week of the WUL season. And so they've had an opportunity to see each other a little bit. But let's chat through the players that we're looking to see today. Particularly, let's start with the Utah Wild. Who are you looking at to make an impact on this game?
I'm excited to watch Ava Hayes today. I haven't seen her play just yet, so having her be a new addition to the Utah O-line is going to be exciting. She brings a lot of speed, a lot of throw and goes. You know, I like the throw and goes. And she's been a breakout player for Team USA U20. So
excited to see it. And what about on the Colorado Alpenglow side?
I'm very excited to watch Rachel Stockdale. Apparently, in the first few games of this season, she's been a huge asset on defense, generating blocks and being a leader in stats across the league.
Amazing to see it. It's going to be a very exciting game, so stay tuned with us as we get ready to watch these two teams take the field.
We're Tire Rack. We test tires to provide you with truth, transparency, and unbiased recommendations. We're Tire Rack. We stock over 1 million tires to ensure we have what you need. We're Tire Rack. We work hard to ship your tires fast and free. We're Tire Rack. We offer convenient installation options to keep you moving forward. We do all this for one reason. Tires matter. TireRack.com. The way tire buying should be.
If you are just joining us, we are getting ready to watch the Colorado Alpenglow and the Utah Wild. Should be an exciting game, as this is the second time this season that we are seeing these two teams match up against one another. So hopefully they've learned from their past experience and sort of tightened up in the last couple of games that they've had. So E, let's take a quick look at the keys to the game today. And let's go ahead and start with the Utah Wild. What are you expecting to see from them in order to secure a victory in this game?
Well, I'm glad you mentioned the previous matchup of these two teams, because we know Utah Wild came out hard on D in the first half. They just didn't totally convert all of those. So we want to see them with that same fire, getting those blocks, and then being chilly and converting them, and then taking that chilliness into the second half.
Yeah, I love that. All right, and so the Alpenglow are wanting to secure this win to punch their ticket to championship weekend. What are you looking for from them?
Well, since we know that the Utah Wild are going to be playing hard defense, I think the Colorado Alpenglow just have to play at their own pace, not get out of sorts, not let it feel chaotic, just stay clinical on their offense, and then deploy their key block generators on Utah Wild matchups to get those defensive points.
And we are getting ready, it looks like, for this opening pull. It seems like the Colorado Alpenglow are going to kick us off today. I can see Rory Veldman holding the disc and getting ready to start this game. As we get started, quick reminder, if you're new to the WUL, we will play 4 12-minute quarters. with some alternating between who is pulling and who is receiving in each of those quarters as well.
That's right. Question for you, Brix. You're the captain of the team. You win the flip. Do you play D to start or O to start?
You know, I'm a classic ultimate player. I like to start on O. You know, just kind of get the ball rolling. What about you?
I like to go D first. Really be really chaotic in the first point, which I think describes both of our personalities.
Absolutely, and that is what the Colorado Alpenglow are looking to do here in this first point, cause a little bit of chaos. But we are off with the Utah Wild moving down. Fast turn looks like some high pressure defense, and we're going to see a foul here and a bit of discussion.
Yeah, it looks like the legs got tangled up. Obviously not intentional. When you're playing tight defense, that happens. So we'll see how they resolve it.
Abby Davis here calling that foul.
I think it's interesting to note that the pull landed just past the 50-yard line, so we're definitely seeing some upwind, downwind today, and I think that'll have a big impact on the game.
Looks like they've gone to the observer for a bit of discussion as well and some rule clarifications.
The call is
upheld by the observer, so Davis will get this disc back here for the Utah Wild. Number 7 here, the disc, finds Songer. Songer at a high stall count.
Ooh.
Quick bailout there. And 26 puts it out there for number 22, Harushnikova, for the first score of the game. That makes it Utah Wild 1, Colorado Alpenglow 0.
That was a great grab by Harushnikova with Rachel Stockdale just right there breathing down her neck. Unfortunately, it looked like Carolyn Black, who was playing the defense on the reset, really sold out on that fake from Songer, leaving that a really nice, easy, open throw.
And that's got to feel good for the Utah Wild, right? That's exactly what they wanted to do here today. Just, it's all about possess and score for their O-line.
Yep, that'll do.
But in classic Ultimate fashion, now we get to see the Colorado Alpenglow's offense here. First offensive point for them of the day. Bunderson with the pull for the Utah Wild, putting a big one out there, going to sail out of bounds. And a beautiful chest pump there from Bristol Lavoie.
That's got to have a name. Has she named that? It's not a greatest, obviously. It's a goodest.
Ari Nelson with the disc in the center of the field. And a quick poach D there from Morgan Williams. Morgan Williams looking for the disc. Oh, but Ari Nelson able to get that disc back with some quick heads-up defense.
Yeah, great heads-up D from Nelson. It looked like they had literally 2 people covering Abby Thorpe. I mean, not a bad defensive strategy, honestly.
Colorado on the line, puts it out for Rena Kawabata, who reels it in the center now of the field on the doorstep. Jade McLaughlin with a slide. Can't quite hold possession of that disc, though. It's going to give Utah Wild the opportunity to break. Bunderson with the disc. Finds Finnegan. Moving it up the sideline now. Utah Wild. Inside look there. Great reel it in from Kircher. But Jade McLaughlin finds that disc on defense.
Yeah, great heads up there. It looks like a pick on the field now in that transition.
A little bit of discussion here on the field.
No big deal. Easy play.
Thorpe with the disc, looking downfield, finds Slev. Ito going.
Fakes the hammer.
Love the hammer fake. Rena Kawabata with the disc, puts it out for Ito, who reels it in.
Beautiful, beautiful. A little messy to start, but they cleaned it up, and that vertical stack looked clinical to me.
Yeah, and that O-line showing, you know, maybe we're going to come out here a little bit rusty, but we can get that disc back if we have to. Here's another look.
Oh, I thought she was running backwards. They got me with that fake.
Beautiful put into space from Marina Kawabata. Kawabata's first year with the Colorado Alpenglow, and so excited to see her join us.
Absolutely. She's an awesome player to play with and to watch. So glad she's out here. Great addition.
Absolutely. And Robin Fassett-Carmen here with the pull for the Colorado Alpenglow, looking to get a break.
That upwind vertical stack didn't seem very effective for the Utah Wild. I wonder if we will see adjustments to the offensive set in these upwind points. But right now, Utah Wild going down.
Songer quickly picks up the disc and finds teammate upline. Amy Norris now with the disc. And the Utah Wild just absolutely moving it through. Looks like Lily Terpstra there put it out a little bit too far for Hayes. Can't quite reel it in. And we're going to see an opportunity here for the Alpenglow to get this break. Pesh picks up the disc. Pesh upline looking, pops up, and that's a D from Amy Norris.
Amy Norris with the D, gets back over to the Wild.
Songer picking up for the Utah Wild. Has to put it way out into space. And looks for Williams there. Williams not quite able to reel that in.
I mean, if you're going to throw a Hail Mary, throwing one to Castique Williams, it's a high percentage.
But quick turnover from the Alpenglow is going to give the Utah Wild another opportunity here to punch this disc in. Hayes with the disc. Puts it out into space for a bidding Lily Terpstra, who scores for the Utah Wild.
Quite the fingertip grab there. Incredible play.
Love to see a little bit of athleticism early on. Seems like the wind is kind of shaking up players a bit. We're seeing some uncharacteristic drops. Great space throw.
Way to hang on to that. Doesn't have to look pretty. I mean, the bid looks pretty, don't get me wrong.
Bid looked gorgeous. And also Terpstra with a little bit of glitter. Love to see that on the field as well.
Shine. Shine, girl, shine. Yeah, I think it's interesting defensive strategy. I think we're seeing people take away the under, so staying between their person and the disc and forcing their person deep downwind, and so that's getting those to sail out the back. But, you know, sometimes as you calibrate, or sometimes it just works out, and then you kind of just give them a nice, easy throw.
Exactly. And the wind here can be a little bit strange at the stadium. Abby Thorpe with the disc. Stall count getting pretty high. Puts it out into space looking for the center, but a bit of contact between two Alpenglow players is going to result in a turn. Hecht now calling an injury, actually, after that contact.
I'm surprised that there wasn't a foul call, though, because even if it was incidental, that very much affected Hecht's ability to go get that disc.
Yeah,
I had no doubt that she was going to go get it.
Taking a quick look here.
Oh, but it's her own player. I didn't catch that. Yep, she tripped over Nelson, so that's not going to work.
All right, Alpenglow trying to get this D back. Utah looking to get a break.
That's nice, tight reset defense.
Kircher looking upline. Finds Cherwink. Cherwink with the disc, puts it out into space. Going to pop up a bit. Give many players an opportunity to try and pull that disc, but it looks like Jade McLaughlin comes down with that. Alex Daniels finds Slev upline. Inside look to McLaughlin, to Kawabata. Quick movement here from the Glow. Putting it out into space. Finding Jade McLaughlin just outside of the end zone. Jade McLaughlin puts it to Alex Daniels, who can't quite reel that in.
Yeah, I wonder if that Utah Wild player out of the corner of her eye shook her a little bit.
Kircher picking up the disc for the Wild. Again, the Wild looking for this break.
I like the really early cut off the stack from Shelke there. Really get the movement going.
Cherwink finds her player inside. Great movement on this break side here from the Wild. Ludak now with the disc. Has to put out a bit of a bladey look, finding Kircher though, who quickly shoots it up line to Cherwink.
And it looks like there's a call. Is that a call with Paige Kircher over there? Ah, timeout called.
A timeout called by the Utah Wild. And we'll see now if we are going to get any type of switches here, right? In the WUL, if you call a timeout, you can choose to switch out your players. And while they are taking a timeout, we're going to go ahead and take an opportunity to thank some of our sponsors. So want to give a quick shout out to Delta S Performance. Delta S Performance is the official medical team for the Colorado Alpenglow. The team at Delta S Performance specializes in sports and athletic injuries to help ultimate players play at their best and recover faster.
We know what they're going to look for, right? They're going to try and strike and fill, and possibly fill twice.
I think you were correct. I'm seeing some D-line players out there for Alpenglow in the huddle. So I think we've adjusted.
And this is a really important D for the Alpenglow, correct? They want to stay in this game and as much as possible control who is getting those breaks, and they want it to be them.
Absolutely. I think, honestly, the key to any team winning a game is to really be in control of the pace, period. Hard to do. Easier said than done.
Songer's picking up the disc for the Wild, looking downfield. Reset. Great reset there. Amy Norris reels that in from a very fast sprinting Rory Veldman.
Making some great grabs here.
Inside look with a put. Davis puts it out to Harushnikova, who's right on the doorstep, who finds an inside look to Amy Norris. And that is a break for the Utah Wild.
Definitely was some third or fourth preference looks that went off as throws. Definitely not looking downfield and seeing exactly what you want, but when you have the throws and you have the chemistry and trust with each other, you can make it work.
Let's take a quick look at that turn on the end zone, just past the fingers of Alex Davis. And that beautiful break throw from Davis. Amy Norris and a quick teammate hug. We love to see that celebration.
Absolutely. Amy Norris showing some serious athleticism out there, both on the offensive side and defensive side of the disc.
Bunderson with the pull for the Utah Wild. Looks like Hecht. Nope, of course not. Ari Nelson, now that has gone out of bounds, will be taking that center disc. Ari Nelson, offensive MVP from last season. Been an absolutely incredible thrower. Love to watch them.
Very dynamic, and yeah, that's who you want as your center handler when they have every throw in the book.
Quickly finds Thorpe. Wild in a bit of a sag here, forcing the handlers on the Alpenglow to really move the disc and start to break that up. Hecht with the disc, finds Thorpe.
It did look like they were leaving kind of the open side reset open.
Great possession here from the Alpenglow, really just dinking and dunking between those handlers.
Love to see it.
Hecht looking inside. Abby's head was turned and she did not see that disc go up. This is another opportunity for the Utah Wild to break. Lober. Finnegan now with the disc, puts it out into space, looking for Chernick, but just outside of the reach and faded to the out-of-bounds area.
A little surprised that we didn't see Cherwink leave her feet. We are used to seeing that, but maybe it was just not catchable in bounds, not worth it.
Hecht is going to pick up for the Alpenglow. Again, another miscue, misthrow there, trying to find Abby Thorpe. Sails up above her.
Yeah,
Finnegan with the disc. Finnegan quickly finds a jumping Lober who pops that in and gets another break for the Utah Wild. This is not the game that I think the Alpenglow expected to see today.
Yeah, I don't think so. And a short field turn, getting back on their heels. Utah Wild just takes advantage of it with the little throw and go movement. They said, we can do this too. Just nice, easy hop in.
And I think this is really similar to what we saw from them in that first game of the season. They were able to generate those Ds, but today they've shown that they are able to convert and really get those breaks. And we are looking at a 4-1 lead from the Utah Wild.
Utah Wild came out here wanting it. They are hungry for this first win.
To no one's surprise, Bunderson's going to be looking to pull this disc for the Utah Wild again.
Getting some coaching from Thomas Eccles on the sideline. This O-line. What can we do better?
What can we do better? Absolutely.
Thomas knows.
Yes, thanks, Thomas. Thanks all the coaches out there. You're all absolutely incredible. Good pull here from Bunderson. Mimac's going to pick up the disc. Centering to Pesh. Pesh looking for cuts. Finds Macy Lang.
Love that cut to space.
Macy Lang with no one on her right now. Finds Pesh.
Great patience.
Pesh finds that inside look to Mimac. To Facet Carbon. Great patience here. Out into space looking for Lavoie. It pops up, but Lavoie has plenty of time to reel that in. To Mimac. Mimac with the center. Finds Lavoie again. To Facet Carmen. To Mimac. Great handler movement here from the Alpenglow. Great patience. Looked for an inside look to Pesh, and that throw just isn't quite going to work. Maybe the window was slightly too tight there. But an opportunity for another break. Bunderson reels that disc in on that up line cut.
Yeah, a little bit of a fumble, but
tries to throw a high release to center that. A couple players in the area, but neither able to come down with it. Alpenglow again with the disc and a chance to score. Facet Carmen finds a bidding Lavoie to maintain possession. Back to Facet Carmen. A little upline movement there is going to secure a point for the Alpenglow.
Oh, I'm sure they're thrilled. They are trying to get this momentum going. I love that grab from Facet Carmen. Just the long arms. So hard to guard somebody with long arms.
Here's that beautiful bid from Lavoie to maintain possession. And I love that she maintains composure there and it's just like, I can throw an upline to my teammate.
It's hard to do.
Hard to do. Lots of adrenaline. We have a lot of really great fans out here today, and it is a beautiful day to watch some beautiful Ultimate.
Oh, yeah. Good stuff, good stuff. All right, now we got a D-line for Colorado coming out firing. But Utah Wild going downwind. Do you think we'll see our first break from Colorado Alpenglow?
I can tell you one thing. Thomas Eccles, who was just talking to that line, is certainly hoping so. There's a little shame tattoo on Rory Veldman. Rory Veldman with the disc pulling here.
I feel like anybody who does not follow club is like, what the heck are you talking about? Shame is the club team that Rory Veldman has been playing on.
All right, Williams with the disc puts a big one out there. It's going to be just too far in front of Moulton. But, in that upwind, downwind situation, not a terrible look.
Yeah. Oh, Megan Maxfield going deep. Had her defender way behind her, but we are picking up the disc slowly. No fast break this time.
Alicia Dixon, upline there. Rory Veldman to Maxfield. Centers to Alex Daniels. Daniels with the disc looking for Vlack there, but great D from Carly Atwell. Carly Atwell picks up and boosts it out into space, looking for Songer.
I think that's, yep. Great D by Alex Daniels.
Little bit too much float there on that disc, and of course Alex Daniels is an absolute defensive machine. So if she has a play at all on a disc, you know she's going to try and come down.
Oh yeah, she's a killer.
Daniels picking up here on the sideline for the Alpenglow. Tries to throw to Dixon in an incredibly tight window. It felt to me like Terpstra was really a little bit too tight for that look to work. Terpstra is picking up the disc. Quick center there to Moulton.
Oh, great snag.
Great snag there from Atwell for sure. Atwell finds Williams. Williams puts it out for a score. Terpstra there with the score for the Utah Wild.
I'm feeling we're going to see a few more Terpstra scores today.
The Utah Wild is coming out firing, as you said, E. What are you seeing out here that they are doing particularly well?
I mean, I think that they're playing crazy good up line and dump reset defense. And they're definitely making Colorado Alpenglow second guess themselves or make much harder reset throws than they're used to making or that they would prefer to make. They're also doing a good job of sitting underneath the players downfield. So they're forcing an upwind puck look rather than an easier, 20-yard under.
And we only have about 28 seconds left. We actually have exactly 28 seconds left in this first quarter.
So that was a very rushed pull, but I think they were running out of time from the observers. So the Alpenglow has a short field to score in.
Ari Nelson, of course, running to pick up that disc.
And they can really take their time here, even though the clock says 9, 8, 7 seconds left. That's quite all right because they get this full possession, and then if they turn it over or if they score, then the quarter is over. It looks like it was a pull violation, so that's why Ari's going to take that from the middle.
Ari Nelson out to Kawabata. Kawabata looking, trying to find Jaden McLaughlin. Lots of defense in the area, but a great read from McLaughlin and great hands, and that is going to pump up the Colorado Alpenglow.
Yes.
That's the team that they play for.
Yep, and it sure is.
That is going to pump up the Colorado Alpenglow and their fans.
Yeah, that was a great trust throw from Kawabata, and I love to see the athleticism under pressure.
Fantastic read and a very classic McLaughlin celebration. And we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back in a second.
Welcome to the Pinnacle Charter School. We are a K-12 tuition-free choice school. We are safe, authentic, innovative, diverse, and inclusive. Pinnacle offers a variety of programs and classes to students of all ages to help them thrive both in school and beyond.
I invite you and your family to learn more about what makes the Pinnacle an amazing school for students and families.
Now enrolling for the 2025-26 school year. PinnacleCharterSchool.org.
Fired up, I just jumped out of my seat.
Wow, what a beautiful grab.
And we are back after just a quick 2 minutes between quarters. We are getting ready here for the second quarter of this Alpenglow Wild game.
Yes, and I gotta say, it's like Utah Wild read my keys to the game there. They have been coming out hard and fast, and really making sure they've been converting these breaks.
Yep, I think that they are probably feeling good coming out of that first quarter. Looking to even try and get another break here as they are pulling the disc. Kircher with the disc for the Wild.
And I'm interested to see if the Alpenglow O-line, or D-line, really, is going to play a little bit calmer offense here.
Nelson with the disc in the center of the field. Hecht puts it out, finds Kawabata. Quick put out to Nelson.
I like these cheeky little throws that are happening. But we're chilling out now.
Lots of good movement. Nelson in power position, puts one out to Veldman, who big hops Veldman, reels it in, and that is a score for the Colorado Alpenglow.
That is great. Way to know your strengths there. They were taking the open looks as they were marching it up. And then Nelson looks downfield to see Veldman cutting deep. Obviously, Veldman, a huge target. You gotta hit her.
And you just gotta love to see Ari Nelson in that power position.
Oh yeah, definitely. You know something good's coming out of that.
That is exactly what the Alpenglow were hoping to do in this second quarter, and now the opportunity to break and tie this game up.
Yep, this is their chance to really shift the momentum of the game. And I'd like to see them as many Ds as it takes to march it on the field and convert. If this game was all breaks, I'd be happy.
The D-line mentality. Facet Carmen there with an absolutely stunning downwind pull.
Beautiful.
Songer with the disc in the center of the field. Songer putting it out there for Atwell. Atwell looking for Hayes just beyond the reach, and an opportunity for the Alpenglow to break.
It's tough too because the sideline is also playing defender there.
Pesh with the disc on the sideline. Puts it out to Facet Carmen. Facet Carmen, great inside look there.
And it looks like there's a stall called on Sarah Pesh. And the observer's helping to resolve this. It's going to go back to Pesh's hands, and it's going to be coming in on a high stall count. Overruled, so probably a fast count there. It's going to go back to Facet Carmen for that one additional throw.
Facet Carmen, quick bump there to Brown. Facet Carmen puts it up, a bit of a hospital pass there, and D kind of surrounding that whole area. Terpstra picking up the disc for the Wild.
Yeah, it looked like a rush around.
Atwell with the disc, inside to Hayes. Hayes locked in on Norris. Norris able to get that reset. And a fantastic D there from the Alpenglow. Shayna Brock.
Oh, good to see Brock back on the field, coming back from injury.
Lavoie finding Facet Carmen just outside of the end zone.
And it looks like a pick called down in that stack. A little bit messy. Maybe chatting about what the stall should be coming in on.
It definitely seemed like it was getting up there, but there was maybe some contact to reset it.
Facet Carmen has been great for just getting open and being a great release valve for this team.
Facet Carmen goes to center it, but a pick called on the field.
It's a bad sign when there's multiple pick calls in a row. You know that that's your fault. Like.
Wow, and a great D there from Atwell.
Facet Carmen upset with herself, but honestly, that was a tough situation to be in. She's had the disc in her hand for so long.
Atwell picking up the disc, puts it out into space. Lots of players in the area. Williams reels it down.
I don't hate that look, honestly.
And wow, fantastic run there from Hawkmuth, who's going to put it out to Hayes for a score for the Utah Wild.
That was a honestly great trust throw. That's a tough corner to be in.
This is a well-practiced celebration.
Oh, wow. Coordinated. We should do something like that. We'll work on it.
But yeah, a tough spot there for the Alpenglow. Great read here from Williams.
She had that position for a couple seconds. She knew where it was going to go.
Fantastic read. And Hawkmuth really, trusting Williams there to catch that disc, made space downfield, and then it was some easy, undefended throws for the Wild for that score.
Yeah, it's hard when you're on defense to say, okay, I'm going to not go for this D. I'm going to trust my teammate to go for this D, and I'm going to go play defense downfield. It's a lot easier on offense to know your teammate, trust what they're going to do, and, give the next option.
Utah Wild coming down in this sag again.
It looks like a little bit more of, nope, you're right, it's a sag. Good call.
We're just getting our feet back under us, back in the booth. Feels good to be here. Jade McLaughlin with the disc, finds Nelson. Lots of short handler movement here as a result of this sag. I spoke too soon because Ari Nelson puts that to space looking for Torpedo, who of course reels it in, has a cutting sleeve. McLaughlin with the disc just outside to Thorpe. And that is a score for the Alpenglow.
And some fancy footwork from Abby Thorpe on that corner. Jade had no concerns, trusted her, and then is super proud of that throw.
Love to see it.
Now
Here's that
this
boost
is the throw to be proud of
from
right
Nelson
here.
On a platter for Thorpe.
Do you think Nelson saw that last point and was like, I can do that. I can do that to Abby Thorpe, and I can make it look better. What do you think the celebration is about?
What?
Abby puts her finger up.
Ooh, I don't know. It's a secret. Maybe we'll ask her. We'll try and find her after the game and figure out what the secret is.
Okay. We'll let you know in the next home game.
And great patience there from the Alpenglow in that red zone to make sure they get the score. Mimak pulling for the Alpenglow. No surprise, quick center to Songer. Songer finds Atwell. Great movement here from the Wild. Norris now with the disc. Finds, I believe that's Terpstra. Hayes now with the disc.
They're working through this sag quite well.
Oh, but a bidding Songer not able to maintain possession. Dixon is going to quickly pick up, finds Mimak. Stahl getting high, an inside look to Williams. Quickly finds Dixon. A little back and forth now.
Great grab by Black there. Looks like there's a call way back from before Andrews had the disc. On the sideline over here. I wonder if it's a stall on Mimak. Yep. Oh, timeout call.
Timeout call.
Much better than a stall.
Alpenglow taking their first timeout of the first half.
So while they are taking a timeout, once again, want to thank some of our sponsors here from the Colorado Alpenglow. Let's talk about the Ultimate Lending Team. They say, hey, Colorado Alpenglow fans and all Frisbee fanatics, Jim Nolte and the Ultimate Lending Team are proud to be the official mortgage sponsor of your Colorado Alpenglow. Licensed in 43 states, Jim Nolte and his team will guide you every step of the way through the home buying process. And not to mention, they have great rates too. To learn more, pull up your phones, jump on social media, and follow Jim Nolte and the Ultimate Lending Team.
And the QR code by the stands, or go to altitudeyoutultimate.org or in
Just peeking over here, we got a good crowd out here for this game. Stands are full, and we got overflow into the grass.
It is definitely a beautiful day to watch Frisbee, and we have a double header here. So love to see the fans out. Brown puts it out to Dixon, who has to toe the line and reel that in for a score. And a headbutt to celebrate. Well deserved there for the Alpenglow.
Dixon is fired up. Fired up.
And this is a tie ball game now. This is exactly what the Alpenglow were hoping to do in this second quarter. Get that momentum back, and to your point earlier, E, play at their own pace.
Absolutely. We're playing with the sideline a little more than I'd like, but incredible grab by Dixon there.
Love that celebration.
I feel like Alpenglow is really using the quarter, 2 minutes of the quarter to shift the momentum here. It's really hard to keep that momentum through breaks and timeouts and all of that, and they wanted to take advantage of that for sure.
And an opportunity to break and take the lead for the first time in this game. Alpenglow pulling Rory Veldman to no surprise with the disc.
I'm not so sure Wild's gonna let him.
Wild's ball game has looked fantastic this first half so far. Terpstra quickly centers to Atwell. Atwell looks up line.
Huge target, Abby Davis.
Davis now with the disc. Finding Moulton.
That's a matchup I would not take.
Wow, and a beautiful bid there from Andrews is going to get that D for the Alpenglow.
Andrews has been an awesome addition to this Alpenglow team.
Veldman picks up, and after a little bit of some play in the air, Maxfield comes down with the disc. Alex
Another
Daniels.
great addition.
Love to see it. Stockdale now with the disc. Looks to center it to Daniels, but just beyond the reaches of a bidding Alex Daniels. Williams picks up. And again, just outside of the reach there for Harushnikova.
Definitely overthrowing a little bit, both teams, especially kind of on this downwind or crosswind.
Daniels picking up the disc now. Again, a chance to break for the Alpenglow. Centers to Veldman. Veldman to Stockdale. Finding Lavoie. Lavoie puts up a floaty disc. And a bit of a pile up there, but looks like Andrews has that disc, and that is a score for the Alpenglow. And a break. First opportunity for the Alpenglow to be in the lead. It's got to feel good for the home team.
I bet it does. And however you got to do it, I suppose.
There's that beautiful bid there from Andrews.
Hey, that's a bookends, no?
Yeah.
Well, I guess, kind of. Wow, and great garbage collection there, and good wherewithal to not step on her teammate.
Yes, absolutely. I'm sure that Maxfield is appreciative as well. Andrews is also a new addition to the Colorado Alpenglow this year. Excited to see her playing with us.
If I'm not mistaken, it's also her first year in the WUL. Whereas Maxfield, as we mentioned, is a new addition to Alpenglow, but Maxfield played for the Sidewinders and Super Blue and has now come to Alpenglow. Maybe she finds a home here in Colorado.
These states are all pretty close, and lots of different players playing on different teams kind of in this region. It's fun to see.
It's true. Yes, yes. You get a chance to play with the people that you've played against. Love that.
Good movement here from the Utah Wild handlers. Terpstra with the disc.
Trying to work through this sag from the Alpenglow.
Puts it out to Hayes. Lots of good dinkin' movements. Songer starts to break through. Finnegan puts it way up line. Hayes reels that in.
Lovely one-handed catch.
Songer with the ball now. Puts a fun upside down look. And wow, Hayes is going to come up with that disc for a score. Great grab by Terpstra on that disc, and gets the assist.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'm a huge fan of the upline to hammer throw, but if your teammate knows it's coming.
And in the wind, it looked a bit blady.
I think it was meant to be. I don't know. I don't know what it was meant to be. But fantastic.
It's fun either way, and you know what? That's what we're here for.
Give the people what they want.
A fun look. Great snag there from Hayes.
Nice ups. And it's definitely a one-hand grabber. You know the type.
Absolutely.
Just so much confidence.
All right, it has turned into a tight ball game here as we're watching the Wild and the Alpenglow trading points back and forth. Bunderson with the pull here for the Wild, going downwind.
I mean, really, this is what the fans want. A tight game, an interesting game. I like seeing each of these teams throw different offenses and different defensive looks, and they're definitely adjusting to what each other is putting out there.
Thorpe finding Kawabata. Back to Thorpe. Ooh, I really thought that Thorpe was going to put that. Ari Nelson now with the disc. Finds Hecht. Hecht looking for Kawabata, who was able to reel that in.
That was a beautiful throw.
Upline to Nelson. Nelson with the boost, looking for Torpedo!
You gotta know that that's coming.
You gotta know. You know what? When Abby Thorpe lays out, I gotta celebrate my own way, you know?
Oh, absolutely. That is a win for everybody.
What an absolutely beautiful series of throws here from the Glow. Nelson, offensive MVP, putting a beautiful throw out to MVP Abby Thorpe from the last season.
Yeah, some incredible athletes on this team. I gotta say, I really love, like, I will watch the whole offense sort of develop, you know, in a bigger perspective, but then when I see Nelson get the disc, I gotta look downfield and see who's going, because I know it's coming.
Oh, exactly. If there is anyone open deep in that space, Nelson can put that disc, and they usually do.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Jane McLaughlin here with the pull for the Alpenglow, looking to get a break.
It's a nice pull.
Songer centers to Atwell.
More of that sag here.
Quick movements here. Terpstra now finds Hayes inside.
Nice safe play from Alicia Dixon there.
Wild really breaking through that sag set.
And they're really using the whole width of the field, which I think is the key to that.
Hayes now with the disc. Finds Norris. Norris to Songer. Songer out to Terpstra. Terpstra looking for the up line. And again, into a little bit of traffic, a little bit of float there on that disc is going to allow Alpenglow to get that D.
Definitely unintentionally popped up, and Maxfield was there to knock it down.
Maxfield with the disc.
That looked like a bailout throw to me.
Bit of a bailout throw, yeah, looking for Black there.
It might be a stall called on Maxfield, so we'll find out whether the disc stays down there with Terpstra or...
Oh, it looks like a timeout was actually called from the Alpenglow, which means that they will maintain possession.
Oh, great work, coaches. So an interesting rule that's different from USA Ultimate is that the coaches can call timeouts from the sideline if they see someone under pressure. To be fair, it is really hard to have the disc in your hand and have the wherewithal to call the timeout, so great rule.
And let's listen here into the huddle here.
Abby is continuing that. Okay. Okay. You want it? If they're coaching.
Sounds like we got our sequence here, and with that timeout, they can have whoever they want pick up the ball. So it looks like Nelson's going to pick up the ball, obviously. And what do you think we'll see from Wild here? Do you think it's just tight D, or do you think they're going to go in that sag?
You know, it doesn't seem, it seems pretty tight from what we can tell so far. That sag's working very well, but Alpenglow showed that they're able to sort of dink and dunk through it.
That's true, and that is upwind as well. This is downwind. We got a nice zipper play there.
Feldman now with the disc on the sideline. Swings to center, finding Ito. Ito to Thorpe. Thorpe looking downfield, trying to put a deep ball for Veldman. Veldman with a beautiful read. Wow, and that's a score for the Alpenglow.
That was great D from the Wild to kind of sandwich Veldman, someone in the back, someone in the front. Forced Veldman to go up as soon as she was able, or maybe even early, but she can jump real high.
Absolutely, and such an incredible athlete. Wow, fantastic D there from Williams.
I love I don't know if you saw this, but the check back from Veldman as she was cutting deep to Thorpe, like, yep.
Throw me the ball.
What are you doing?
Alpenglow has so many dynamic throwers that it's always really exciting to see who's going to be the one to put that creative deep ball.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, two of the best things to play with in Ultimate are to have huge targets downfield and to have people who can put the ball anywhere. So it's lovely when you get to play with either, and especially lovely when you get to play with both.
Absolutely. Facet Carmen here with the pull for the Alpenglow.
That's a great upwind pull.
And Wild is really just hoping to punch this in, make it look easy here, and have a nice clean hold. Moulton with the disc. Puts it out to Hayes, who tries to toe the line in, but Observer calls that out.
It was unfortunately a little too far. Ooh, that was a tight window.
That was a tight window, laying with the disc. Wow, and a bidding Harushnikova there looking. Pesh reels it in, but puts it out to no one, and is going to give the Utah Wild an opportunity to score here again.
Yeah, unfortunately, Tran made that S cut when Pesh was looking to lead her to the back.
Terpstra picking up the disc. Finds a sliding Songer.
Wild's doing a good job of making space on this open side and cycling these cuts out.
Davis now with the disc.
But they are trapped there. It'd be good if they can get it to the middle of the field or even to the high side.
Whoa. Songer putting it way out into space for Williams. Great D there from Facet Carmen. Danny Tran picking up the disc.
And it looks like there might have been a stall called on Abby Davis over here on this close sideline before the centering pass. Some discussion with the Observer. And the Observer is upholding this on the side.
So turn over there.
Who has possession?
Great mark there from Brock. Sarah Pesh picking up the disc now for the Alpenglow on the sideline.
Got a clean little bird stack here and a fun upline cut from Grace Brown.
Wow, Lang picking up some trash there, putting it out to space.
Shayna Brock with the goal and a huge kick spike.
Wow, great toe in there from Brock, who is back this season. Good to see her playing again.
Yeah, coming back from an ACL injury is no joke. But we love to see her athleticism back in the field. Ooh, almost a miscue there, but Macy Lang picking up the trash, as you said.
And beautiful field awareness from the Alpenglow there in terms of the toe-in. Macy Lang keeping that disc alive there for the Glow as the disc sailed through a few different players on that field.
Sure did. I think what's interesting, I mean, we have this huge field here, right? Like basically 2/3 of, 3/4 of a football field. And both teams are doing a good job of using the full width of the field side to side, but they are really, really playing with the sideline a little too much in my opinion. But I guess if you could reel them in.
I think that's exactly right, E. And, the Alpenglow have really started to get that momentum here. Wild now with the disc on O, hoping to score and walk it down. Atwell with the disc, finding Kircher to Songer.
This is the classic Utah Wild offensive set.
Exactly. And we we're at time now, so we'll go through this possession.
Great grab by Hayes.
Reels that in. Inside to Kircher. Kircher back to Hayes. Quickly finding Norris there. Norris to Williams.
They're trying to use every player in the field right now.
And they're doing a fantastic job. Terpstra with the disc. Upline to Norris. To Williams. Just on the doorstep now, looking to score.
There we go, off the sideline to the middle of the field.
Really moving this disc backwards, though. Williams now with the disc. Puts it out into space, and that's going to be a score. Fantastic cut there from Terpstra.
And I love that little bladey away trust throw, especially up there.
Wow, an exciting second quarter here from both teams. Alpenglow really getting the breaks that they needed to pull ahead here.
And I really liked seeing, especially that last point, the buzzer went off, and Utah Wild was on a mission to score that point.
Yep, and we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back in just a few minutes after half.
And we do have a special treat for your halftime entertainment.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back.
Yeah, man, how you doing? You good? I know you like that. I know you like that. How long you been back, man? And when this beat drop, I know they gon' lean. World debut, I know they gon' fiend. Everything Mississippi to the Palm Springs. Girls from brunettes down to blonde queens. You know you like that. 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 You know you like that.
We're Tire Rack. We test tires to provide you with truth, transparency, and unbiased recommendations. We're Tire Rack. We stock over 1 million tires to ensure we have what you need. We're Tire Rack. We work hard to ship your tires fast and free. We're Tire Rack. We offer convenient installation options to keep you moving forward. We do all this for one reason. Tires matter. TireRack.com. The way tire buying should be.
Welcome to the Pinnacle Charter School. We are a K-12 tuition-free choice school that offers bus transportation to students across the North Metro area. At the Pinnacle, we are safe, authentic, innovative, diverse, and inclusive. Pinnacle offers a variety of programs and classes to students of all ages to help them thrive both in school and beyond. Our students pursue many different paths upon graduation, from college and trades to entering the workforce immediately. Students are supported in their pursuits and encouraged to follow their passions both in the classroom and through after-school clubs and athletics.
I invite you and your family to learn more about what makes the Pinnacle an amazing school for students and families.
Now enrolling for the 2025-26 school year. Visit our website to learn more and enroll your student. Contact us to schedule a tour today.
Ultimate Camp is awesome. It's probably the best thing ever. I thought that I was going to throw my best frisbee throw ever, and that actually did happen. So I think frisbee is awesome.
Tire Rack. We test tires to provide you with truth, transparency, and unbiased recommendations. We're Tire Rack. We stock over 1 million tires to ensure we have what you need. We're Tire Rack. We work hard to ship your tires fast and free. We're Tire Rack. We offer convenient installation options to keep you moving forward. We do all this for one reason. Tires matter. TireRack.com. The way tire buying should be.
And we are back. Wow, what an exciting first half of Ultimate Frisbee. The Colorado Alpenglow are up 10 to the Utah Wild with 8, but it has been quite a back and forth between both of these two teams. The wind making it a little bit interesting and letting us see some really fun plays from these athletes. Let's take a quick look at some of these highlights from this first half. Beautiful play out there from Turkstraw.
Great snags. I feel like the wind lets us put on more of a show.
Yeah, I think absolutely athletes have to get into space because the throws aren't as perfect as they normally are with these players.
I think both teams are like tuning to the wind.
Yeah, Annie, can you talk a little bit about what we saw in that first half from both of these teams?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think what's interesting is we've seen several different defensive looks from both teams. Both teams trying some different types of sag looks where the defenders are sort of off in the lane instead of being tight on their pull. And that has allowed for some different offensive movement, see more small ball, and then the teams transitioning more into the third stacks. I think we're seeing very similar looks both on defense and offense for both teams, as well as the amazing plays.
Yes, it's been certainly fun to watch. Annie, would you agree that I feel like Utah Wild really kicked it off and felt like they were dominating, and then in that second quarter, the Alpenglow really came out firing, caught back up, and ended up taking a lead, as you see one of the greatest head spike celebrations from Dixon there.
Yeah, it was a huge momentum shift from the first quarter to the second quarter in terms of who was setting the pace, who had the real energy out on the field, who was looking like confident. And I'm very interested to see in this third quarter who's going to take the reins.
Here's a beautiful read from Veldman with 2 defenders on her.
And a big smile on her face.
And a big smile on her face.
Love to see it.
And we will be back in just a few minutes as we get ready for this second half. See you soon.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back.
Oh, yeah, man, how you doing? You good? I know you like that. I know you like that. How long you been back, man? And when this beat drop, I know they gon' lean. World debut, I know they gon' fiend. Everything Mississippi to the Palm Springs. Girls from brunettes down to blonde queens. You know you like that. 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 You know you like that.
test tires to provide you with truth, transparency, and unbiased recommendations. We're Tire Rack. We stock over 1 million tires to ensure we have what you need. We're Tire Rack. We work hard to ship your tires fast and free. We're Tire Rack. We offer convenient installation options to keep you moving forward. We do all this for one reason. Tires matter. TireRack.com. The way tire buying should be.
California dreaming on such a winter's day.
So fired up, I just jumped out of my seat.
Wow, what a beautiful grab.
And we are back at the Pinnacle Athletic Complex, getting ready for the second half of this ball game between the Colorado Alpenglow and the Utah Wild. It continues to be an absolutely stunning day out here in Colorado, and we have a full day of frisbee ahead. Looking forward to that doubleheader as we wrap up this second half here. Alpenglow is going to be looking to get this win and secure their spot at championship weekend. Are you expecting to see either of these teams making any big shifts in this second half? What do you feel like was working well for each of them? They each had kind of different quarters that worked really well for them and let them get pretty decent leads on each other.
Well, that was a few questions at once. So let's start with what was working well. What was working well, I think, for both teams is to really open up what they were doing. I think it felt a little boxed in, especially on offense in the first quarter, or even just the first few minutes of the game. And then we first see Wild really just like throw some deep balls upwind and, oh, hey, it worked. Let's open this up and see what else we can do. I don't think we'll see any big changes from either team. I think we'll just see small tweaks to maybe how those defensive sets are run, to how the reset, looks are going, when they're looking, all that stuff. But yeah.
I think you're exactly correct. Both teams playing really great ultimate, playing really great defense especially. And Alpenglow here is going to be on defense, pulling the disc, with an opportunity to get a break and take their biggest lead of the game so far. Robin Fassett-Carmen with the pull for the Alpenglow as we kick off this second half.
Look at those fans out there. Save us a seat for the Summit game, friends.
Wow, and a big pull there from Fassett-Carmen. Absolutely beautiful. Terpstra, very brave to reel that in. Quick center to Songer.
On the back pedal, wow. We're seeing person defense, but it is a little looser.
That was a great reel in there from Atwell, who puts it out to a sliding Harushnikova.
That was good heads up. I'm not totally sure that that's who that was to. Stall called by Brock on the mark. Seemed a little quick to me. What do you think?
It looks like it is not going to be upheld by the observer, so Songer will maintain possession of that disc.
Ha, I was right.
Songer puts it out to Terpstra.
Great grab.
Bids to maintain possession. Out to space, looking for Songer, and just a little bit too far in front of her. An opportunity here for the Alpenglow to break. Macy Lang now with the disc. Looking for Brown there, not quite able to connect though. Both teams looking a little bit rusty coming out of this half.
Yeah, time to dial in the throws.
Harushnikova with the disc. Finds Atwell. Atwell finds Amy Norris upline. An inside look there, but Bristol Lavoie in that inside lane gets the D and quickly finds Fassett-Carmen up into space. Jade McLaughlin now with the disc, pointing downfield and wants to rip it to Macy Lang, who gets a hand on it but is not able to gain possession.
Yeah, it looks like she was running at really full extension there.
But an absolute speedster, Macy Lang.
Yeah, put some distance between her and those defenders very quickly. But just on the fingertips, that's tough.
Utah Wild looking to score. Davis with the disc, finds Hayes. Inside looking for Terpstra, but that's going to be a block by Brock, who sort of sits in that lane and is able to make sure that's a turnover.
Yeah, otherwise you know Terpstra's hitting the deck and catching that.
Lang now with the disc, finds McLaughlin. McLaughlin puts it out for Lavoie.
That was some beautiful, smooth offense. They had that fast break momentum. It's just so much easier to get open when you have fast break momentum.
Absolutely, and that break from the Alpenglow is going to give them the largest lead of the day.
Jade really wanted an assist this time. She was determined.
And she got it. Love to see that from Jade. Absolutely wills the disc to where she wants it to be on the field.
Especially if it's a stat.
Especially if it is a stat, absolutely. And we're going to see, again, a great D-line here from the Alpenglow. Utah Wild here, hopefully not getting too flustered. It can be hard to, take the lead early on and then start to feel that slip away. Ultimate is a game of runs, they say, though.
They do say that. They do say that. I'm not really sure where that comes from, but I suppose so.
Momentum, I think,
Sure, yeah. Energy, momentum.
Songer centers to Atwell. Puts it out to Rushnikova there.
Wide open.
Looking for Williams, who has to get low to maintain possession of that disc, but she does. Finds Terpstra pretty quick there. Beautiful inside put there to Songer. Looking on the break side. Finds number 14, Abby Davis, for the score there from the Wild.
Yeah, it looks like Davis maybe sniped that from her teammate. Both of them were open down there, Finnegan and Davis.
It's hard when you have so many wonderful targets to choose from. Really working that break side. That inside look opening up the field.
Oh, I gave her the high five.
Took the stat, but gave her the high five.
I feel like that was an interesting point. I'm not sure. Okay, so I'm not really sure what that defensive look from Alpenglow was. There was always someone open, especially downfield and downwind. And Utah Wild did a great job capitalizing on those open players. I don't know about you, but I think it's easier to throw a hard throw to an open player than it is to throw an easy throw to a not open player. So I feel like they just sort of let them walk it in.
Yeah, now we're going to chance to see the Alpenglow offense here. Slav with the disc, quick dish to Thorpe. Finds McLaughlin. Great give and go movement here from the Alpenglow. Ari Nelson in the center, finds Slev.
I like that they're not holding on to it for too long. It's like someone's open, you got it.
That was a good inside look from Thorpe, but just a little bit beyond the reach of Kawabata there.
Yeah, maybe released a little too low and it just stayed too low going downwind.
Utah Wild with the opportunity to get a break here. Bunderson has the disc, finds Lober. Lober puts a big throw into space, and her teammate was not looking for that.
Yeah, it looked like Cutler was headed back to the stack at that point.
Yeah, Cutler had a few steps, but was not intending to make that deep cut. Ari Nelson going to pick up the disc.
And a pick coming from the stack on Jade McLaughlin. I like that look. I think they just have to be on the same page if they're going to throw that throw, So maybe that's for the huddle after.
I think that's exactly right. Nelson working with Hecht. Great patience from the handlers, waiting for something downfield to get open. Kawabata does. Kawabata finds Thorpe to McLaughlin.
Was looking to shoot, but held back, and now it's Nelson's turn.
But Nelson's gonna shoot, looking for Ito, who reels that in. Ito Burrito is hungry today, and that is a score for the Alpenglow.
I feel like that is just the sign of a veteran player. You're not the tallest, doesn't matter. You know how to box out, you know how to read the disc, and you're gonna reel it in even when it's tough.
Let's take another look. 2 defenders from the Wild in pursuit, but Alpenglow is doing a fantastic job of getting position in those situations and coming down with those discs.
And great trust. Great trust with each other.
Exciting to see that here today. Colorado Alpenglow up 12 to Utah Wild's 9. About 7 minutes left in this third quarter, and lots of good ultimates still to be had.
Excited for what's to come.
Facet Carmen with the pull here for the Alpenglow. A great pull there from Facet Carmen, especially given the upwind downwind situation. Atwell finds Terpstra. Beautiful step out there, unfortunately a little bit low. Gonna give the Alpenglow an opportunity to break. Danny Tran finds that disc. Centers to Pesh. Pesh puts it out to Lavoie. Good back and forth between Lavoie and Facet Carmen.
Yeah, sneaking these into Lavoie on that high side.
And great movement there from Lang. Looking for Pesh, who digs that up from just above the ground. Brown inside to
Shayna Brock.
Shayna Brock.
And Ava Hayes was giving chase there, super close. Honestly, if she had left her feet, I think she might have gotten the D, but that's not an easy thing to do.
Great dig out there from Pesh.
Colorado 13, Utah 9.
And that's a fun celebration.
Love that celebration from Brock.
I like having Sarah Pesh there as the center handler. It really opens things up, her being a lefty and like being super tall, super long reach. You can really hit those around throws, and wow.
Yeah, super exciting to see Alpenglow starting to create a bit of distance from the Wild. Anything that you're going to change here if you're the Wildie?
Excellent question. I think, honestly, the most important thing right now is energy and excitement. We saw that coming out. They came out hard, and they came out very, very excited to be here and to show them what was up. I don't want them to get down, honestly. Like, energy can really be something that changes the way a game is going.
Wow, and that was a great grab there from Kircher to maintain possession. Harushnikova, Atwell now with the disc. Quick movement here from the Wild, trying to slice and dice between this defense. And Harushnikova comes down with that disc for a score.
Megan Maxwell was in great position, read that just as well, but Harushnikova has a little bit of a height advantage on her and reels it in. Great grab, under pressure.
Here's that look at Paige Kircher saving that possession as that disc sort of caught up in the wind. And Atwell finding Harushnikova.
I appreciate the safe play as well. Very safe play.
It is a tight and exciting ball game here. Colorado Alpenglow is up 13 to Utah Wild's 10. About 5 minutes remaining in this third quarter. It is still anyone's game.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. If you think otherwise, you think wrong.
Kircher with the flick pull there.
Interesting.
Hecht picks up the disc, quickly centering to Nelson, who sends a little spicy throw to Slev, who runs through too hard, but is able to maintain possession.
Yeah, great grab.
Ito with a beautiful fake there from Ito. Ari Nelson with the disc.
Nothing but effort from Churwink on D.
Love that. Put it out into space for a bidding Rory Veldman, who's not able to come down with it. An opportunity now for the Utah Wild to get this break and tighten up this game.
I liked that fastball movement, the fast break, but it looked like she just tripped on the turf.
Great attempt there from Shelke, and a similar situation with Veldman there.
Yeah, I wonder if there's some shifts happening in the wind, because these are just kind of popping up or popping off people's hands. We haven't seen that at all yet this game.
Sherwink maintains possession there. Sherwink putting a deep ball. Ludak had a bunch of space, but the throw is just too far in front of her to get that break score.
Great effort bid from Ludak there, but definitely wasn't going to be possible to catch that.
Ari Nelson picking up the disc for the Alpenglow. No surprise. Let's see what this QB can do.
It looked like a foul. The mark hit the disc as Nelson was trying to throw. No contest.
Nelson back with the disc. Finds Veldman.
Got that one.
Quick bump out from Thorpe to Nelson, who's going to rip it out into space, but a floaty disc is going to give several players the opportunity to come down, but it's
Kawabata, but wow, what a D from the Wild. Kawabata didn't put enough behind her throw. Gave Utah the chance to get the D.
Great heads up D there from the Utah Wild. Fantastic work from Knutson. Kircher centering.
Looks like there might be a pick downfield or a timeout.
It's going to be a timeout called there.
Swing Jade, swing Jade, swing Jade, swing Jade.
And while they are doing that timeout, let's give a quick shout out to Jackson Photo. Colorado Alpenglow would like to thank Jackson Photo, the official photographer of the Colorado Alpenglow Ultimate Team. He's out there today with the camera, no surprise, and having a little snack, of course.
Hope you put on your sunscreen if you're listening. Maybe put on some more.
So some exciting deep balls, even in this upwind. Looks like we might be seeing the wind die down a little bit if I'm looking at the flags correctly.
Yeah, it looks like it's a little more gusty, like coming in just here and there, which can sometimes be harder than a constant.
Absolutely, might explain some of these pop-up balls that we're seeing in different places.
Absolutely. But it helps for great plays.
It helps for great plays. We love to see athletes athlete.
Heck yeah. Tough spot to be in. They call that the coffin corner.
Songer picking up the disc here.
And it looks like just a boost, maybe a trust throw?
Williams comes down with it and he's going to put that ball out into space. Absolutely great read there from Abby Davis to give the Utah Wild a score.
I think the Utah Wild have to keep that going. Just have Williams down there. If they're stuck on their own end zone line, big boost, big boost. And I think actually if Alpenglow would maybe set a tighter mark to stop the huck instead of the around, I don't know. I don't know if you adjust for that or not, or if you want that.
That's a great question, but it is now just a 2-point ball game, and that set of plays there from the Wild has got to give them a little bit of confidence here.
Yeah, I think so. This is the type of momentum going on runs that we were talking about before. So, yep, let's see if they can make another one happen. I also want to highlight that throw from Williams. I think one of the things that made it so perfect, the one to Davis for the score, is it had a little bit of edge on it, which allowed it to not like sink really hard.
Alpenglow looking to score here. Slev sliding to maintain possession there. Nelson with the disc, looking downfield, finds McLaughlin. Thorpe now with the disc, pointing to where she would like people to be. McLaughlin.
That doesn't always work, so.
And wow, Slev just in the perfect position to get that disc from Nelson.
Yeah, Nelson noticed that Slev was poached, and easy peasy.
Slev is sort of notoriously good at finding that space and opportunity just when her defender is not quite looking at that disc to be able to sneak in a lot of those goals.
It's so true. I am so surprised each time I see her with yards and yards and yards between her and her defender. I'm like, what are you doing?
And great toe in there from her as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Interesting that Abby Thorpe is back there playing handler.
Yeah, new space for her, I think. But you know, she has such an arsenal of throws that it's no surprise to me that the Alpenglow is trying to take advantage of that by getting her the disc a little bit more frequently and try and get her in power position.
Definitely, that's true. I also think, like with being such a big target and like such athleticism, maybe it's you just always have a reset. You always have a reset you can rely on.
Alpenglow here looking to get a break.
Pulls a little short just past the 50-yard line, so a little shorter field for Wild.
Songer puts that out, but it pops up. Dixon reels that in. Tran out to Andrews, finding Maxfield.
And it looks like there's maybe a pick downfield. Very chaotic. A couple seconds ago, for sure.
And an exciting opportunity for the Alpenglow to get this break.
Maxfield here with the disc, trapped on the sideline.
Maxfield puts a bit of a punt. Williams gets a hand on that to D that. Stockdale tried to pick up that trash, but unable to keep it inbounds and in possession.
Yeah, it looks like it was just a high stall and a throw and a hope and a prayer.
Kircher picking up the disc here for the Utah Wild.
I like this bracket out of the vert stack from Alpenglow.
Kircher putting a deep ball for Williams. Able to get that over the top of Rachel Stockdale. Hayes puts it out to Terpstra. And that is a score for the Utah Wild.
Is that 4 points for Terpstra? How many?
Terpstra is absolutely dominating, whether she is downfield or in that reset position in the handler space. Always open.
Teach me your ways. Just kidding. Too old for
Hayes.
this.
Hayes with an absolutely beautiful put there.
Yeah, very quick catch and then look downfield and throw. I love the confidence, especially in a U20 player, under 20 player.
Absolutely. We have just about 1 minute remaining in this third quarter. Could be a big play if Utah Wild is able to get a break.
Yeah, I think they really need to focus on the mission of this point. Don't think about the last point. Don't think about the next quarter. This point, if they can get that break, I think they can change their fate right now.
Nelson finds Kawabata, who puts up a big rip, looking for Slev. Wow, beautiful put there from Kawabata. Slev on the doorstep, gives it to Thorpe. who punches it into Ito. Wow, very quick score there from the Alpenglow.
Yeah, excellent job. Great downfield look. It looks like maybe they knew what sequence they wanted to throw in, because even though Slev had someone tight on her back, that disc still went up. Obviously a lot of trust in her as a receiver. And then just a little small ball at the front of the end zone line. I love that finished cut from Ito right all the way through, because it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter that it's a 2-yard throw because you're in the end zone.
Yes, great field awareness there from the players. Love to see that patience in the red zone, especially recognizing what a big point that was. And now an opportunity to get a break. 42 seconds remaining in this third quarter. The Wild just need to possess and score.
Yeah, absolutely. Just march it downfield, downwind. But I know Alpenglow's going to be coming out hunting, really trying to seal the fate of this game early.
Atwell picks up to Songer, finding Kircher.
Interesting offensive look. It was a little bit of a zipper, but then no one filled.
Some good movement here from the Wild. Hirschnikova with the slide to maintain possession, finds Terpstra.
Lots of switching from Alpenglow.
Kircher puts up a scuba.
Beautiful.
Songer with the high release backhand for the score, too. I think not a surprise at this point in the game for sure. Terpstra.
Absolutely. I think we might see Terpstra on the stat leaders for the week of the WUL.
Wow, well, what an exciting third quarter here. Alpenglow continue to be in the lead with 15. Utah Wild have 13. Got some gusty wind. And we will be back in just a few minutes to see how we close out this ball game.
See you then.
My best frisbee throw ever, and that actually did happen. So I think frisbee is awesome.
Fired up, I just jumped out of my seat.
Wow, what a beautiful grab.
And we are back for this final quarter. We are feeling good vibes up here in the booth. Dolly Parton's playing down in the stadium, and we can hear that. Love Dolly.
My idol. Dolly for president.
Wow, what an incredible first 3 quarters of this ball game. This is a much tighter game than I would assume the Alpenglow were expecting.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's a few factors involved in that, but I think the main one is you can't count any athletic team out, period. And Utah Wild is an athletic team.
Absolutely. They've done a great job of capitalizing on opportunities today and really leveraging that athleticism in a way that has shown up on the scoreboard.
Most definitely. And I hope that they just keep that endurance, keep that momentum, and we can see more of that in this last quarter. Give us more.
Kircher with the pull. Let's see this Colorado Alpenglow offense. Hecht picks it up, quickly centering to Nelson. Nelson looking downfield a very long time.
Not much happening.
Finds Slev once again in a perfect spot. Kawabata now with the disc, puts it out for Ito.
Doing a good job of finding these holes.
Ito working with Kawabata now.
Love that.
Great space throw. But Kawabata trapped on that sideline, and it looks like a stall called.
Yeah, that's a hard no around mark. Kawabata didn't really have the space to step out and throw the around throw, really being denied by Truink. But I'm afraid that that stall might have been a little quick.
Observer coming in. Kawabata will maintain possession. Wow, a very dynamic mark there from Truink.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like a foul called. Maybe on the receiving or on the first pump fake. Not sure. But yeah, oh, that's a crazy unpredictable mark. No doubt that she gets lots of blocks that way.
An observer coming in to be part of this discussion. We love and appreciate our observers.
We do. Even more so than I love watching people act out what happened.
Which honestly
maybe
is
my
great.
favorite thing ever.
And the Oscar goes to.
Yeah, I feel like observers have to be vigilant. They have to be mediators. They have to be, you know, tough and confident in their calls. Couldn't be me.
Nelson will maintain possession of the disc. Stall getting high, puts it out to Slev. Not a great shape on that throw for Slev to reel in, but a bit of a late stall bailout.
It was, and Slev had some space, but there was a sideline there and caught the wing a little bit. I don't know. I feel like Abby Thorpe would have thrown a hammer. Maybe a hammer. Hammer was lift. I don't know.
Kircher picking it up on the sideline here. Very tough spot.
I like this switching defense on the stack, causing Utah Wild to put one up. And it's reeled in by Ito.
Ito picks that deep throw off. And wow, a bidding Cherwing.
That was an amazing D. And it looks like there's an injury called. I think that might be Sarah Levin holding an ankle.
Slev appearing to take an injury here.
Hopefully nothing too serious. Can we just talk about that catch block?
That was absolutely incredible D from Sherwing, who is playing very well today.
Yeah, so aggressive on defense and really just like covering so much space, especially when you go vertical, you know?
Yes, so Veldman in for Slev and Terpstra in for Schelke. Wild. Terpstra picking up the disc, swinging it out into space there. Wachtel holding the disc now. Ludak looking downfield, finds Terpstra.
They're cycling through these dump cuts really well. And bookends for Cherwink.
Cherwink wanted that disc that last point.
Absolutely. Cherwink was on a mission, trying to show her team, this is our quarter.
Exciting play there. And I believe that was a break.
I believe so. I believe you are correct. So very well done by Utah Wild. And within one.
And within one. A very exciting game today. However, have we ever not had an exciting game here with the Colorado Alpenglow and the Utah Wild? We love this matchup.
Yes, we do. Very storied matchup. These teams have played each other so much over the past few years, and it's such a good matchup, I think, because, you know, we see each other in the club scene. Both teams are playing at altitude all the time, so that's not a factor. Yeah, we know each other very well.
Bunderson with the pull here. Brown catches and centers to Pesh.
Slightly different handler pods, which is interesting.
Tran with the disc. Finds Pesh cutting up line, but some discussion around the field. Seems like a pick was called.
Yes, it does. If you ever see the goalpost arms out on the field, that's going to be a pick.
And we up here in the booth, we love a hand signal.
We love hand signals. More hand signals. And counting them in.
Pesh will maintain possession of that disc. Finds Facet Carmen up line. It's Rock now with the disc.
A little bit of jamming it up the jam hole, but now we change the field.
Now we're swinging it around, working that break side. Facet Carmen to Brown to Veldman. Facet Carmen. A low put there.
Oh, beautiful bid.
Shayna
Brock
there.
But that's an injury.
And an injury called.
Looks like she was maybe out of breath there. Another signal, if you see the shoulder tap, that's an injury.
See that?
Ooh, that's a hard hit.
Lots of contact there with the ground.
Yeah, definitely out of breath.
Hey, let's go, Abby.
I believe we got Abby Thornton as that replacement.
And Utah Wild with the disc. This is their chance.
Inside, Finnegan reels that in.
Oh, and a hand block by Facet Carmen.
That is a very large mark, very hard to throw around. Veldman finding Thorpe. Thorpe inside to Bristol Lavoie. Back to Thorpe, who's going to put that into space for Veldman for a score for the Alpenglow.
That was a perfect throw.
Beautiful work on the break side there from the Alpenglow.
Yep. That was, Alpenglow didn't get shook. Facet Carmen got that D pretty quickly. And then they punch it in.
Let's see this hand block here from Facet Carmen. Great use of those long arms.
They're going to say something about the gloves.
Also, as a glove wearer, I think subconsciously I did get a little extra excited.
I also want to know, I love the timing of these cuts. There's a lot of trusting of the throw that is about to happen and setting up your cut for the next one, and that's why Veldman just scored.
And Veldman is staying on the field, going to pull this disc and play a D-line. Veldman can do it all for the Alpenglow.
Yeah, she's one of those utility, very dynamic players. I think that you mentioned before that she's one of their floaters. So we'll float between offense and defense because, well, she's good at everything.
Utah Wild here, an important opportunity for them to score. Terpstra swings the disc out, finding Songer, who hits an upline Kircher. Continuation to Rushnikova.
I love the McLaughlin-Rushnikova matchup. Former teammates, both super athletic.
Great inside look. Terpstra. Kircher now with the disc. Pick called on the field.
It's like a pick call on the far side so it doesn't affect anything. I like the catch from Terpstra, avoiding hitting the deck again. I feel like she just must have, all summer long, perma turf burn.
Yep, absolutely. It's a little bit of discussion here at the disc about where the stall should come in. Upline to Songer.
These two have been playing together for a long time, Kircher and Songer.
Yeah, good around throw there. Wow, and a bidding Abby Thorpe, followed by a bidding Williams to maintain possession.
Incredible.
What a series of plays there. Harushnikova sliding to keep that disc alive.
I feel like this whole fourth quarter is just people competing for play of the game. Looks like a timeout called from. Oh. Yep, timeout called on the field.
Another exciting partnership here with the Colorado Alpenglow is with the Big Brothers Big Sisters of Colorado. The Colorado Alpenglow's mission is to be a program defined by competitive excellence, investment in their community of athletes, fans, and local youth, and by their commitment to inclusion, diversity, and respect. To that end, the Alpenglow is proud to partner with the Big Brothers Big Sisters of Colorado and have them out at this game tonight.
Out here at the game today. Once again, our next is Big Brothers Big Sisters of Colorado.
And we had some fun series of layouts here. Abby Thorpe, the great defensive layout there, and Williams had to lay out as well to maintain possession.
Catch your D's, Abby. Just kidding.
Kircher's going to be picking up the disc for the Wild here. A big point for the Wild. Every point's felt like a big point in such a tight game.
That is absolutely true. Oh.
Looking for Abby Davis there, but not a lot of float on that disc, and Abby Davis is not quite ready, not quite able to run that down.
Yeah, unfortunately that had pretty much no touch on it. It looked like an underthrow. Even Davis couldn't run that down.
Daniels with the disc, finds Andrews. To Facet Carmen. Rachel Stockdale now with the disc on the sideline. Great find to swing around.
Determined to change the field there.
Thorpe now with the disc. Finds Stockdale.
You can tell this has been a longer point because there's a little more cushion from the defense.
A great layout attempt there from Andrews to maintain possession, but it is going to be a turnover, giving Utah Wild the disc back. Songer now with the disc. Finds Davis.
Great pressure from Stockdale there.
Moulton with the disc. Finds Kircher. Kircher inside to Songer. Puts out a floaty touch, trying to find Terpstra, but Jade
That's Danny Tran.
That is Danny Tran with the D.
Great D, Danny.
And a little bit too quick there from Abby Thorpe, looking for that inside to Daniels, but not quite able to connect.
Yeah, a bit too spicy.
Great attempt to get that back from Danny.
Yeah, trying for another.
But Terpstra is going to put that out, finding Davis for a score. It looks like some celebration, a little bit of confusion.
Okay, just some tired people out there.
Just some, a long point.
Great use of that corner. Dominating that corner, Abby Davis.
And the Colorado Alpenglow have just a 1-point lead here in this final quarter. 3.5 minutes remaining.
This is exciting because, really Alpenglow's, they were trying to run away with it, and Utah Wild has just reeled them back in. Are we going to have a new leader of this game shortly?
Not if the Alpenglow have anything to say about it, but we've seen that the Utah Wild have that athleticism, have those plays on D. And this is going to be a great opportunity for them to get a break and tie this ball game. Bunderson with the pull here. Hecht with the back pedal to reel it in. Quick center to Nelson. Finds Veldman.
Oh no.
And a bit of a bobble there from Hecht is going to give Utah Wild an opportunity to break just outside of their end zone. Williams looks like the disc with a bit of a call.
We are not sure yet what the call is. if you can tell by our silence.
Alpenglow coach here doing a lot of running around on the sidelines.
Wow. Okay, so Utah Wild called a timeout. They did not have a timeout, and the penalty for that is a turnover. So it is Alpenglow's ball, and they are off to the races.
Wow, and a quick boost from Veldman finds Jade McLaughlin in the end zone for a very important score here in this one.
Looks like a big violation call back downfield.
Colorado 17, Utah 15.
Bunderson signaling no goal.
Looks like there's some discussion with Nelson and Lober with the observer about maybe starting, like once they found out what the issue was, the call, and that it was a turnover, that Nelson picked up the disc and started firing too quickly.
All right, we have retracted the call, and the goal will remain for the Alpenglow. Seems like a good spirited discussion went on, which is very important, and the observer, of course, did a fantastic job of facilitating.
Absolutely. Hardest job on the field, frankly.
Yeah. And the Alpenglow is pumped up. You saw both Nelson and Thorpe celebrating that goal.
I mean, a freebie D, and then you get the fast break.
Yeah, also probably one of the biggest celebrations today was from Coach Badger there on the Alpenglow when he realized that they got a turn.
Does that mean Badger gets the D?
That makes sense to me. We'll talk to our the stat guys who are just next door and see if we can get Coach Badger that stat.
That's why it's important to pay attention to what's going on. You know, as a coach and all.
Bassett Carmen with this pull for the Alpenglow. And disc hits the ground, which is going to give the Alpenglow a couple extra seconds to get downfield.
And the SAG defense in the lane is back.
Handlers really working together from the Wild here. Terpstra with the disc.
On offense, like, this defense is kind of nice because you always have an open throw, and it's just like as many as it takes throw-wise. But
Hayes had a great over-the-top there to Williams.
Yeah, that was fun.
But the SAG was able to get set pretty quickly. Abby Davis now with the disc. Up line to Terpstra. Terpstra and Davis working together. Davis to Hayes.
Great grab.
Amy Norris now with the disc, looking inside, but Macy Lang is going to get that D.
That was wag for me. I wish I would have seen a wag. No. That's my lane.
Dixon putting a ball into space, finds Bassett Carmen, who has Lavoie going. Lavoie can run that down, and a bidding score from Bristol Lavoie.
Incredible grab. Trailing edge away from her. Doesn't matter.
That was fun. You'd love to see that float out with the opportunity for Bristol to just run that down.
Incredible athleticism, great work.
Good to see that D from Macy Lang.
Unfortunately, these inside flicks have not really been working on the upwind side. I think they just hold their spot in the air just a little too long, allows the defense to close. Those are tight windows that you really have to hit.
I love the intensity on Lavoie's face as she was reading that disc. Absolutely determined to get there and get that score for her team. Alpenglow probably feeling pretty good here, fairly in control of this game with just over a minute remaining. They have a 3-point lead, and I bet their defense is feeling hungry.
Oh, yeah, you have to be fired up by the plays that have been happening in this quarter.
Veldman is going to put a big pull into space and just inbounds. Fantastic. Wild probably hoping to score pretty quickly here. Songer does put it deep, looking for Williams, who toes that line and keeps it. Oh, nope, observer calling out.
It looked like she kind of tripped under the tape, and honestly, the line is out. The observers can make active in-out calls, so that is well within the right of the observers to call what they see there.
Great attempt there from Williams.
And Colorado with their chance, but it looks like there is a timeout call from Alpenglow. Maybe nobody was getting open in the first few seconds, and a great chance for those coaches to say, I'm going to make this decision for you. We're taking a timeout.
Well, we only have just a little bit under a minute remaining here in this ball game, but there is an after party after the Alpenglow and Summit doubleheader. We are pleased to be sponsored by Prost Brewing. Colorado Alpenglow would like to thank Prost Brewing for hosting the post-game after party. Just say the Alpenglow name for 20% back to our programming. Join us at Prost after the game.
Prost is a great local brewery. Love their beers.
Excited to try it out.
Yes. Over in the Highlands in my neck of the woods. So.
And not super surprising, we are seeing some personnel shifts here as the Alpenglow have put out their more typical O-line with, of course, some floaters as well.
Yeah, Veldman's still picking up the disc.
Veldman has to put a look inside to Nelson, who is going to boost it, looking for Kawabata. Great shape on that disc.
Alpenglow is still playing downfield, but there is a stall called with Veldman all the way in the back corner.
We do have a call back at the original throw.
So the very original throw, there was a stall called, and we will find out if it's going to be a turnover there or if that first throw will stay with Nelson.
It looks like the stall was overruled by the observer. So we will go back to when Ari Nelson had the disc.
Yeah, one continued throw after a call, so that's why it's staying with Nelson. And another note is when they came back in from the timeout, stall started at 0. So it needed to be the full stall count there. Everybody's coming back to where they are, or where they were when Nelson caught the disc, as much as you can remember, I suppose. That was a while ago.
Veldman has the disc again, finds Nelson around.
A little tougher because this is not the fast break offense that we just saw, because everybody was set up.
But Nelson really going to work, getting open for their teammates there. And there's a boost. But wow, great D there from Atwell.
They're really determined to get Calb out of the disc, but this time didn't happen. Utah Wild with the fast break movement now.
Bunderson holding the disc, finding Atwell.
And we are out of time, so this will be the last possession. Really, Utah Wild is playing for point diffs at this moment.
And a bidding Rory Veldman to shut down that look. And that is a win for the Colorado Alpenglow. They have punched their ticket to championship weekend, and they remain undefeated for the 4th week in a row.
Very exciting for these Colorado fans in the stands. They are thrilled to see their team win and go to championship weekend. Speaking of championship weekend, tickets are on sale now, so look it up.
And let's take a look at our play of the game. It is, of course, that beautiful layout for a score from Bristol Avoy.
Honestly, absolutely beautiful. Clinical layout, especially if you're going to go out with one hand.
Love the concentration on Bristol's face the whole way through.
If you're looking for, if you're a new up-and-coming Ultimate player and you're looking for a player to idolize, Bristol Avoy always does everything right. So she's a great person to be a fan of.
What a fantastic game today from both teams. It was really exciting to see, Utah Wild go up early, Colorado Alpenglow come back, and ultimately maintain a lead in order to secure this win. It's a beautiful day. We've got the Colorado Summit playing next against Oregon Steel. I'm going to stay and enjoy myself. Yeah, I assume you will as well?
Oh, yes, I will be cheering from the stands.
It's an absolutely beautiful day for Frisbee.
Yes, spring has sprung. And I think we should mention, we got one more home game, so you'll hear us on the mics again. May 18th, when San Diego Super Bloom comes to the Pinnacle Athletic Complex here in beautiful Colorado.
And that should be a fun one. Wow, fantastic stage from both teams. The crowd was excited. The crowd was great here, as always. And we are looking forward to watching that Summit game. And wow, thank you so much for joining us today. I'm Emily Grixey.
I'm Emily Carroll.
No relation. See you next time.
California dreaming on such a winter's day.
So fired up, I just jumped out of my seat.
Wow.